Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bob here. I am out and about. I was just doing a little hunting here. I was hoping to get my hands on a copy of The Conjuring, which just came out today, and bull moose again, extremely expensive. So I was thinking I might just check online because Walmart didn't get them at all. I don't understand what's going on with my Walmart because they advertised it at $19.99. Thought that was a pretty decent deal for the Blu-ray DVD pack, and I checked and they didn't have it. So, did that first, knowing that they'd probably be cheaper than Bull Moose. Bull Moose was $26 or $24. And I was like, I saw the movie theatrically, and I want to own it, but wasn't really, wasn't really ready to pay that kind of money today. So, of course, I do the normal Bull Moose stuff, which was I picked up a ton of VHS tapes. I hadn't been there in a little over a week, so they had plenty of new stuff put out, because I feel like every time I go in, just come right behind me and they fill it back in with stuff in the back room, because they must have thousands of VHS tapes just sitting there. So anyway, I got a box of movies in the back there. I think I ended up with 24 or 25 tapes, not all of them movies, but I'm on my way home right now. It's really shitty all of a sudden, and people are driving like assholes. But I'm going to head home, and I will show off what I got. So we'll see you there. All right, guys, just getting back at the house, and I just want to show off all the VHS that I got this week. Like I said, didn't end up with anything else because I didn't find anything worth looking through. Bull Moose has so many DVDs that unless you know what you're looking for, you have something in mind, it's kind of hard to just really browse. I do browse the horror section, but this time I honestly didn't. I just went through the VHS, quick glance at the HD DVDs, nothing new there. So I just picked up the handful of VHS tapes that I found here. So I'm going to go through, I got a couple of, not really set so to speak, but like most of the movies in a set anyway. So, well, actually, no. You know what I'm going to start with? I got these two, and this is Volume 3 and Volume 4 of a couple more Twilight Zone episodes. You guys know I love the Twilight Zone, so I was happy to find another couple of tapes here. Especially this one. This one has Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, which is probably the most well-known Twilight Zone episode, as well as Odyssey of Flight 33. But even better than that is this one has a game of pool on it, which is, after A Nice Place to Visit, which is my all-time favorite episode, a game of pool comes right behind that. It's like top 3 is Nice Place to Visit, Game of Pool, and then Time Enough at Last. Those are like my top 3, and if you know anything about the Twilight Zone, I mean, you've definitely seen those episodes, and if not, you should check them out. I'm sure that if you just went on YouTube, you could probably find most of the Twilight Zone episodes individually, and then, you could look up a game of pool, because that one is awesome. Jonathan Winters plays Fats Brown, a dead pool player who comes back to play a challenged game with Jack Klugman, who's in this as well. Just a fantastic episode there. So you should definitely check those out. This was a kind of a surprising find. You know what, this is just I kind of bought for fun, kind of a reminiscent of my childhood. I picked up a copy of Coliseum Video, WrestleMania 3. This is pretty much the first WrestleMania that I remember watching. I mean, I'm old enough to have seen all of them. I think WrestleMania started when I was 1, so I was 4 or so when this one happened originally. And when I was a child, we'd watch a lot of wrestling with my dad. Went to a handful of wrestling WWF events at the time, and I'm still nostalgic, for the old school stuff. And this is probably the best WrestleMania of the early years. I don't watch much wrestling anymore, so I really don't even know. Couldn't even tell you what's going on in these days. But back then, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. This is a hell of a pay-per-view. I liked it, so that's why I grabbed that. And then another quasi set sort of thing that I got. I did pick up a copy of Kickboxer 1 and Kickboxer 2. Never seen Kickboxer 2, and the only reason I even picked up the first Kickboxer is because I had this on VHS, and the tape didn't play about halfway through, so I grabbed another one hoping that one's in better shape. This one I've never seen, does not have Van Damme in it. According to the LA Times, it's better than Kickboxer, but I highly doubt it. This one has Sasha Mitchell in it. and I have no idea. I've never seen it. I'm sure it's the same exact movie, but with different people, just like most of those, underground fighting kind of movies are. They're basically the same type of deal. And then I got almost a complete set of this, and I'm disappointed that I couldn't find the first one, but I'm sure that I will at some point, and that is the Rocky set. So I got Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 4, and Rocky 5 here. I love the Rocky movies. All of them. I mean, I even the horrible one, which is, in my opinion, the 5 is the one I guess that everybody hates the most, and that's the worst one. But I loved it, and I love all of them. And I have Rocky Balboa on. I think I have it on Blu-ray. I can't remember if it's Blu-ray or DVD. I have it on Blu-ray. So, and now I've got most of the other ones on VHS, and I'm sure sometime in my travels I'll find the first one. I'll end up grabbing that. And so I got this one as well. This movie, I've never sat all the way through. It is my mother's favorite movie. And, I figured I should probably just buy it, because what the hell, and that's Gone with the Wind. And I'll probably never watch this all the way through. I always end up falling asleep, because it's not my kind of movie. But, of course, it's an ultimate classic. And so I figured it should probably be just something that I have in the collection, even if it's just on VHS. Let's see, after that, I didn't really get anything. Well, I suppose you could consider these a set, although they don't exactly go together. But they were sitting right next to each other on the shelf, but no surprise, it's because somebody probably traded them in together. But I got Pauly Shore, In the Army Now, and we got Pauly Shore, Son-in-Law. So, those are both some fun 90s movies. Pauly Shore, he was campy, he was ridiculous, but, zany and fun. That's a perfect way to describe Pauly Shore movies, I guess. This one probably says the exact same thing. No, entertaining and action-packed. I don't know if it's necessarily action-packed. I actually like In the Army Now. I remember that one, and I remember it being pretty good. Son-in-Law, I don't remember exactly. I mean, I know what the plot is, but I just don't remember seeing the movie very much, but... so yeah, what the hell. A couple of Pauly Shore movies. I wish that they had Biodome, because I haven't seen that one in a long time. But, yeah, take what I can get. And speaking of ridiculousness, here's a couple of more ridiculous, pieces of shit. Oh, but they're fun. It's fun, and that's the whole point of movies, is to have fun, right? So, these are, again, sitting right next to each other, and I saw this first one here, Surf Ninjas, and I said... It's got Leslie Nielsen. I got to give it a shot. It also has Rob Schneider, which is a turnoff completely, because he's only made one good movie in his entire career, and that's Benchwarmers. But, what the hell? It basically, I would assume it's like a Three Ninjas kind of take, with those kids who are ninja. I don't know why they're ninjas in this. Who cares? It's just fun. And sitting right next to it, another movie. Oh, man. This is a good one. Shaq in Kazam. This, I don't know if I ever even saw it theatrically, but I've seen it since then on TV. Oh, God, years and years ago, and I figured might as well own it. But boy, there's some cheesy movies I got in there. So but I love kids movies. And those are about as cheesy of a kids movies you can probably get. So, and then going into some adult movies here, I picked up a copy of Cocktail with Tom Cruise, which I've never seen, and I don't know why, and I figured it was about time that I just saw it. It's one of the few Tom Cruise movies that I've never seen, and not that I'm a huge diehard Tom Cruise fan and I have to see them all, but pretty sure this is one of the most famous ones, so why not? I did pick up one horror movie this week here, and that was Bride of Chucky. And as you guys know, I like to collect screener tapes. This is a VHS screener, and that's pretty much the reason I got that. I've never seen this one. I think I mentioned that in a previous video, but I grabbed it specifically because it has because it's a screener tape, and I will give that a shot. Maybe even soon, because I watch horror movies year round, but something about October and the Halloween. Once you hit November 1st, you're like, yeah, I can still watch horror movies, but it's just not Halloween time anymore. So something about that. I picked up this movie as well, and I'm not a huge Mel Gibson fan either, but I haven't seen this movie in years, and I want to rewatch it because he made a movie recently. Man, now I can't think of it. Get the Gringo, right? And the character in the movie Get the Gringo, which I loved, by the way, is a great action movie. I think it was from last year. The character in that is apparently a take on the same character that he plays in Man, what was that other movie that he did around the same time as Ransom? Anyway, is where I was leading to. I never saw Ransom, but around the same time he made Ransom, he made that other movie where he played a hitman, Payback. Right, Payback. Thanks, Bob, for coming up with that. And I never saw either Ransom or Payback, and supposedly both of them are really good. I don't know where I was going with that story because it's not like that has anything to do with Ransom. This one, his son is kidnapped, but it's kind of, I guess in my mind, it's just like vintage Mel Gibson. Before, he was probably crazy then, but at least before he was publicly crazy. So I don't know if I ever saw this one all the way through. Anyway, I remember bits and pieces, but only that's because I'm looking at it now and I remember Gary Sinise, but I'm not sure I ever saw this all the way through. So that's why I grabbed that. Movie that I've never seen at all, and the only reason I grabbed this, and I'll tell you, first let me tell you, Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John is apparently a horrible, horrible film that has a huge cult following for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I've never seen it. The only reason that I grabbed this is because the choreographer in this movie, he's the choreographer and director of my all-time favorite Disney movie, which is Newsies, which also happens to be the lowest grossing live-action Disney movie of all time. Newsies is, and the guy's name is Kenny Ortega, but he does great choreography. He's been a choreographer and a director for years, and he also directed Hocus Pocus, which has really no choreography, so to speak, but he does a lot of music stuff. And back in the 70s and I guess in the 80s, I suppose it would be, he was also the choreographer for and the director for some music videos by The Tubes, which is one of my favorite old school kind of punk bands. But anyway, so I grabbed Xanadu specifically because of that, because I was like, you know what the hell, at least the choreography I know will be good. Yeah, a couple other movies here that I'm just going to run through real quick. Didn't see this since it was theatrical, but I felt like watching a John Goodman movie today, so this is probably what I'm going to do as soon as I have lunch here, and I want to watch King Ralph, because I haven't seen this movie in years, and I remember it being pretty funny, where, just a Joe Schmo kind of guy becomes the king. I don't remember why or the plot or any of that, but we'll watch it later today. As you guys know, I like to pick up cheesy action movies, so that's why I picked up Van Damme's Replicant, which I've never seen. This is one of the few, I think, theatrical release Van Damme movies that I never saw, because at this point in time, I was, working at the movie theater, and I'm pretty sure this one was theatrical, and I just didn't see it, so that's why I grabbed this one. I may end up watching that one later today, too. I don't know why I grabbed this one, speaking of live-action Disney movies, but I actually enjoyed this one. Dennis Quaid in The Rookie, where, an aging kind of ball player guy goes and tries out for the majors, and he makes it in and stuff, and it's a good, it's a very, very long movie. It's over 2 hours, for Disney movie, period, that's long. For a live-action Disney movie, 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think. It's kind of getting long, but I enjoyed it. I remember seeing it theatrically, and, it was good. It was a good film. These I'm buying completely out of order because I already own the third one. Still haven't found the first one, at least on a VHS, obviously. RoboCop, and love this whole series. Just keep trying to grab them as I go. I'm not really looking forward to the remake, but I will see it, of course. It's PG-13, the remake is, which is just ridiculous because all of these movies are ultra, ultra violent, and there was a whole, that was the whole thing. I mean, that was the whole reason for those movies. So I'm not sure how good this remake will be. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't seen these movies in a while, so hopefully I can find the first one soon, so I can watch them again. This is a movie that I absolutely love, and I haven't seen it in years. And I kept looking for a copy. I know it's on DVD, but I just hadn't found it. And that is a copy of Jack the Bear. This is Danny DeVito, and this is a really kind of a dark movie, dark drama, family. It's a family drama. Just watch the trailer for this movie. I don't know how well, they tell you what it's about, but, it's very, very good, and it's very heavy, but it's, man, I can't even talk, I don't want to, talk about the movie too much to tell you what it's about, because there's some, it gets kind of, it's not really a twist or anything, but it's a fun movie. It doesn't have a horrible, ending or anything. People aren't just dying off. It's fun, and it's a family. It's family appropriate, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. But it is dark. It's a drama. And then the last thing I got, movie I've never seen, but I was reading the synopsis, happened to see who directed it, and picked it up without even knowing anything about it, and that is Loose Cannons. Never seen this. Gene Hackman, Dan Aykroyd, but it's directed by Bob Clark, and that's all I needed from me. Bob Clark, who directed Porky's. Of course, he directed, he also directed Black Christmas, He directed, geez, what else? What am I thinking? I'm blanking right now. Oh, A Christmas Story, of course. So tons of, guy did tons and tons of movies. Canadian filmmaker. Who unfortunately was killed in a car accident a handful of years ago here, which is too bad, because he was still making movies, up until his death. But I don't know anything about this movie, and I mean, I'm hoping it's funny. It's an R-rated comedy, and I always like Gene Hackman. Dan Aykroyd, it's not Ghostbusters. I can take or leave Dan Aykroyd, but we'll see. We'll see what that's like. I don't know anything about it, so we'll give it a shot. But anyway, guys, that's all the movies that I picked up this week, and so hopefully it feels like it's been forever since I've done a video, but hopefully I can get out this weekend, maybe Friday or Saturday. The girlfriend and I both have both days off with no plans, so maybe we'll we'll head off and find something. It's getting a little late for yard sales, unfortunately, but if not, there's always the Bull Moose, and that we'll be hitting that up. So anyway, you guys do the normal YouTube stuff, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you either at the end of the week or in one more week. Have a great one, guys.